Pounders, we are back, and today we're going to be sneaking into a BBM4 draft while all the big brains are doing the poodle, all the big brains are off doing the weeklies, maybe doing even the Mastiff, the 1K tournament, which don't think we're going to jump into. Some quick hellos. Jonathan, welcome to the live stream. Lucky, what's going on, fellas? Exciting news. I made them myself, too. Self-created artist here with the Spoon membership. We have one member, Frankie. I appreciate you. Patreon members, I appreciate you guys as well. We have one spot open in the Founders Pounders League for the Patreon league there. So if that's something that interests you, go on and look in the link in the description. And we're off. We're going to do some BBM tonight. And going over my exposures, we have gone and done 92 drafts so far. So really on pace for where I wanted to be come July. So August, we'll see. I kind of want to be in that like 115 range. That's the goal. Right now we're in this information lull. So we have to make do with your own projections, with who you think's going to rise, who you think's going to fall, and all that. It's going to take a little bit of projecting, but just a little sneak peek. And this is something that the Patreon members as well as the YouTube members get, is a little insight into my exposures. I go through with the QB, running back, wide receivers, and tight ends every single week, and I post those once a week. Here's the top right now. This is just for Best Ball Mania. I go through and I share it for post NFL draft, but that isn't really the whole scope, right? It'll tell you like what players I'm on, but am I really drafting Michael Gallup right now, or was I on him early before he got steamed up? Same thing with some of these other players that are down below where we were really crushing them early. Even Ayuk, someone that started at like 61 ADP, and now you see him regularly pulled down to like 49, 50. He goes in that range right after Christian Kirk. So that is always fun, and you should be keeping track of your exposures. You should be keeping track of players you want to target and make sure that your takes are in line with your exposures, because sometimes you'll be like, oh, and someone posted it in the Discord today. I really like Baltimore this year, and they went ahead, and you can search Baltimore up there. Just type BAL or Baltimore, whatever, and it'll pull up the whole offense. And he's like, man, I'm not overweight on any of these players. Well, that's good that they did it now early in July where they had 41 teams drafted. Now they can adjust kind of like stocks, right? Get some more exposure and get their portfolio up on that offense. So just something to take note of. Exposures, we're still early in. It's only July. We're in an information lull, but we have to make do with what we have. And that's exactly what we plan on doing. I have targets of players that I want to really be heavy on right now before they rise, and we will get into that in just a moment. We are waiting on 6 members for the Best Ball Mania 4 draft. 6 members. 5, 4, 3. 2, try to sneak in here without you guys. We tipped off the Discord members first, so they have the first shot at it, but we had some extra room. And honestly, I've been enjoying the back end of these drafts, getting these 2 elite receivers, even in the middle. The middle's not bad either. I'm really just I think we're taking advantage of every single spot. We're seeing Saquon fall to, he's at 18 right now. I plan on scooping him here at 17. Let's just put it that way. Kings of Kings, what's going on, Frankie? Easy Money, Lucky, Trilly. The icon name looks familiar as well. Mario. Oh, God. It's going to be a Pounders draft. Maybe, just maybe, everyone stays in their own lane, and we can all be friends after this. No, we're going to get our guys. TC Cannon, what's going on? Adam, Scott, Jeremy, one in front of you, he says. The icon. I knew the name looked familiar. I do remember it. And let me know if you guys have looked at, what's it called? Fantasy Life, the best ball hub on Fantasy Life. I know Peter Overzet's gone ahead and he's promoted a few times. I finally made an account. I uploaded my exposures from Underdog onto there, and you can see some really cool data of when you drafted players, your average ADP for players, and that goes ahead and it tells another story about your exposures, right? Like I have 11% Antonio Gibson, but my average ADP was 121, where he now goes at 98. So you can see I was much heavier exposure wise on Antonio Gibson. I stopped drafting him in that 100, 105 range. And now my exposure gets lower, but my average price is still extremely high and I'm still overweight on him. So stuff like that can tell a story about your exposures and the way you draft. And it's kind of cool to see if you are drafting risers or if you're missing and you get the fallers, which it can happen. Our next pick's at 17. I don't really like getting stuck with like Eckler or Waddle. There's just something about that I don't absolutely love. I don't mind AJ Brown. I don't mind Lamb. Let's go AJ Brown here for the exposure. I have a ton of CeeDee Lamb. 17% CeeDee Lamb in Best Ball Mania 4. So let's go AJ Brown here and let me peek what that's looking like. Lamb goes right after Eckler at 10. Buck, welcome to the live stream, my man. He said, I already knocked out 20 drafts. I'm completely all in on weekly. Maybe I'll do a few more BBMs. I love the weeklies now. At first, when it first came out, I was a harsh critic of it, but now we're all in. All right. And we did exactly what we said we were going to do. We bring in Barkley here. It's crazy that he's fallen this far. Really is. Really is crazy. Someone that he had more carries last year than his rookie season, where he absolutely popped off. His rookie season was legendary, but if you go back and you look at the catches he had that rookie season, it was insane. But last year, still having 57 catches, very heavily involved. I don't really expect that to change much with the players they signed with Jalen Hyatt and the players that they drafted when Jalen Hyatt and signed. They basically signed every small person that was available in free agency. Travis Kelce, Mahomes here at the 6th spot. Let me peek. How's Mahomes? He's going at 21 now. It could be interesting to drag Kelce up to this 3 spot, try to get Mahomes at 22. Wouldn't do it often, but every now and then to try to get a little different player here at 27. You might be able to get T. Higgins there, who typically, oh man, his ADP steamed up to 23. But yeah, that's a nice one. If you can get the T. Higgs, Mahomes, Travis Kelce, that week 17 matchup, that's fire. That's absolutely fire, and it's definitely unique. ER7, welcome back from vacation, my dude. Welcome back. Ches thinks Saquon should have a more efficient year with all the weapons added. Yeah, I agree. Even more just sustained drives will help him because he's going to eat in the red zone. Look at this. 3 RB start, which definitely helps our Barkley start in this pod. Truly starting with the Bijan, Devontae Adams. Nice. Really nice. Ben Roethlisberger, in retirement currently, but he is drafting with us currently. Wanna what? Let's bring in Lamar. Let's bring in Lamar here. This is just going to be a unique start. We have Patrick Mahomes going off before ADP. Jalen Hurts went basically at ADP at 25. Josh Allen fell a little bit. So, I mean, this is the best value right here. But, you have to love that. Diggs, JT, Josh Allen start. It's really, really nice. We got a small update that Jonathan Taylor is expected to be ready for camp. Like, how many players do we hear that with, though? And it happens every single year. But we're all fighting for this just little bit of information. We're like, that's all I needed. I'm drafting him. And it's like, yeah, the time comes and they're still hurt. Trilly bringing in D-Hop here. Bringing him to the 3-4 turn on the back end. And honestly, we've had some chats. If he goes to KC, like, where are we ranking D-Hop? It's pretty high. It's got to be in this Devonta Smith, T. Higgins range for sure. Yeah, I think this is the perfect squad to bring in Christian Watson. Boom, bust, potential wide receiver, one on the team. There's so many different views on Christian Watson this season. All I know is even if he does bust, he still has an extremely high weekly ceiling. Single game ceiling is going to be extremely high. We also know Green Bay has a cake schedule this season. He could lean into that as well. It makes sense for this type of build, though, where we sort of put off getting our second receiver. We're going to depend on C. Watson in this situation. I think it makes sense for the narrative of this team. Another one would have been Drake London. I would have been fine with bringing in here too. TD brings in his first receiver. Okay. It's about time. The Icon brings in Drake London right after us. That's a nice start as well. Really following the same model here. Dalvin Cook not accepting the offer yet from Miami. Maybe hearing offers from the Jets and the Pats. It's tough for Ramondre. Like, I love Ramondre this season. But Dalvin Cook going to New England would hurt him. It's not just having Pierre Strong Jr. in the backfield anymore. So I'm light fading Ramondre until we find out where Dalvin lands. Now, I also have 14% Ramondre, so I'm comfortable with that percent that I have. Mike Williams off the board. Was this out of spite right here? This Jalen Hurts pick on Mario? He goes Devonta Smith. He brings in Jalen Hurts. Feels like a spite pick. Deontay Johnson's still rising up the board. It looks like he has the potential to pass Godwin as well. He's been steaming up. Okay, where's my next pick? My next pick's at 65. And then my next pick after that is at 80, which should be an okay range. Okay. We'll do it. I was trying to think, do I want to go Waller in that range of 80? Because I know he was in that range. And then we already have Barkley. I would only do that if I was going to bring in Daniel Jones. And it would be a similar bye week with Lamar. We already spent a decent amount of capital on Lamar. To spend that amount of capital on both QBs and then have a similar bye week, we're pretty much giving up the regular season prize, which is 1/3 of the prize pool for Best Ball Mania 4. And I think that's just a negative EV play, unless we're going to go like a last round QB. And then even then, it's now we're giving up upside for week 17, in my opinion, if we're just looking to get points for the bye weeks, a similar bye week with Lamar and Daniel Jones. I might be looking into that, thinking about that too much. Let me know in the chat. ER7 says, drop a like. Yes, please. If we hit 1,000 subscribers before NFL kickoff and we're on pace, drop the subscribe. We're going to be doing a 24-hour live stream. That's going to be nutty. It's going to be nutty. Deontay Johnson falls. We'll gladly go Johnson. I'm cool with either one of these picks. Okay, so we get a falling Johnson, which isn't like crazy unique because of where his ADP started in Best Ball Mania 4. And that's something else that we have in the Discord as well. JGFC, his Twitter account, we have linked his tweet out for the starting ADPs for Best Ball Mania 4. And those are interesting to look at too. They're really interesting to look at. If closing line value is something that you care about and just sort of tracking the starting ADPs versus just where they're moving to right now. And that's what I'm always keeping an eye on. So Deontay Johnson's been a steady riser, but to get him at this point at 65 feels pretty good. He's also our third receiver. I think he makes a lot more sense on a team as a third receiver than a fourth receiver. And if you look at the construction, we have him with Christian Watson, who can be boom or bust. Makes a ton of sense for this construction. Ton of sense. We also have the Green Bay, Minnesota mini. And we really want a wide receiver on the way back around, not named Kadarius Toney. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Love that. Love that Toney pick. Tua at 77. Oh, okay. Tua at 77. Intense. Intense. I love that. I mean, we didn't need a QB, so we're good with that all day. Waller goes off the board at 79. Wasn't going to be our target, and we do get to bring in George Pickens here. Not a great separator, but someone that makes amazing contested catches. And guess what? I hear that's good for the red zone. And with Kenny Pickett's like legendary low touchdown throw rate, I think we can just expect that to increase this year. It was very low last year, his rookie season. We have 3 bye week 6s, which we're not too worried about right now. Does it influence our next pick? We'll see. I don't think so. We'll see who comes back to us. Trilly with the 0-1-5-0 build so far goes Deshaun Watson, little naked Watson, which is fine, and James Conner, who someone that we were going to target. Pacheco, he's going to fall, and he has to fall. This is something that we've been mentioning for a little while now, that he hasn't been practicing. All right. Elijah Moore off the board. Dak Prescott off the board. And our next pick is at 104. So real quick, just kind of peeking that range. I want like RBs in this range. I don't really want to have to draft wide receivers. So I think this is where we just go ahead and we click Bateman. We need him for week 6. Even if he does start off a little banged up, we can kind of assume that he'll be ready for week 6 anyways. Could always go Zay Flowers there too and make that bet against Rashad Bateman's health, but I like Bateman. I mean, someone that can take a slant to the house in best ball is just, it's kind of a cheat code. William Sampson says D-Hop to the Browns. Don't do me dirty like that, my friend. Do not do me dirty like that. It would make so much sense. It would make so much sense, but DeAndre Hopkins has offers from the Patriots, Titans. That's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like. Bills lurking to steal Hopkins from Patriots in ring chase. Now that would be really good. If he ends up on the Bills, we have so much Josh Allen D-Hop. Yeah. The thing is, like, I don't think the Bills are going to be able to pay him. So when push comes to shove, does D-Hop want a title and play with an elite QB, or does he want money? You got to shut up and not complain, and you're probably not going to have the same stat line, and you're not going to make that deep run into the playoffs. He said he wants to play with an elite QB. He named a list of QBs. Just like, that's not the Patriots. But it could happen. Could happen. Chiefs are restructuring, but I mean, the Bills already had restructured 2 players, and they made a shit ton of cap room. Look at this run at RB. P. Ryan, I'm surprised Mario going P. Ryan here, especially only having 3 receivers. I know it's not the best range to go receiver, but I would probably reach up for Tyler Boyd or Lazard. I just think the P. Ryan pick right now, where you do have positive reports about Javonte, if those continue, P. Ryan's going to fall. And I think he has to fall anyways. He'll likely still have a pretty good role, though. Like, even if Javonte does come back and he plays week 1, like, he's not going to have 20 carries week 1. So they're going to ease him in. So P. Ryan should be a usable asset for, at least the first 6 weeks, and then change of pace back rules after that. Kamara goes, I mean, if you're going to give me Dalvin Cook at 104 and he ends up in Miami, I think that's an absolute smash spot for Dalvin Cook. And this is also a price that early drafters were not getting Dalvin Cook at 104. Let me pull up these starting ADPs so I can drop some knowledge on everybody. Just some extra facts for the people in the crowd. If you want to find this, it's in our Discord, link in the description, BestBall cheat sheet channel. Scroll to the top. JGFC is the man that made the spreadsheet. And let me peek where Dalvin Cook was going. Dalvin Cook started at pick 60. So we get him 44 picks after starting ADP. I mean, we get him 16 picks after current ADP. You know what I mean? So sure, I think that's a pretty damn good time to bring in Dalvin Cook. We also have a little mini. If he does end up in Miami, it's not even a mini. It's our main stack bring back. So I think that's pretty damn cool. We can definitely look for Kenny Pickett for this type of build where we have 2 pass catchers in Pittsburgh. That's definitely on the top of our list. We just have to keep an eye on the Freiermuth team. Would be the only team I'd really worry about, and he's not even off the board yet. If we go Freiermuth here, I don't love it. But I think we can still do it. We're making a huge bet on the Pittsburgh offense by doing this. A huge bet on the Pittsburgh offense. But we should be able to push off Kenny Pickett now. Like, in a really sharp room, we should be able to really push the limits on Kenny Pickett. So if he goes at pick 167, we're likely going to have to select him here. But in a sharp room, I wouldn't mind trying to push it. I think we do have a couple teams in here going rogue. This team that started 3 RBs has 1 QB. There's another team in here that I think went rogue too. Find it in a minute. Benjamin May, Poodle draft I was in, every team except me had 3 QBs. Eric says, keep pounding. Pounders. Love that. Guys, if you haven't already, drop a like on the live stream. Try and get this video out to as many people as possible. We're going to be doing a 24-hour live stream at 1,000 subscribers. Nico Collins at 120. I like the slight reach up for Nico. I think he has room before NFL kickoff to rise to that 100 range right in here with Tyler Boyd, Odell Beckham. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibilities for Nico, who's really continuing to get steamed up. Darnell Mooney with positive reports about his injury being ready for camp. I think he goes too late. He seems like a good value. Even Jacoby Myers, but probably more that floor guy with Myers. This will really depend if Las Vegas can deal Hunter Renfrow or not. They're not going to cut him because of doesn't make sense for cap. Fuck. This is just too many Pittsburgh players now. We kind of back ourselves into a corner. I'd rather go Kendre over Jamal Williams, to be completely honest. I'm not dying to bring in any of these receivers right now. Let's do this. Let's bring in Kendre here. Just watched his highlights again last night. Just so explosive. So explosive. Don't underestimate the amount of dumb drafters. Ah, God. So you're taking the over on 2 dumb drafters for this room? We'll see. We'll see. Making a huge bet on the Pittsburgh offense here, but if they hit and they all are values, or even Kenny Pickett's just a value and he has a good season, he's going to bring along the pass catchers. So it is important for us to get Kenny Pickett at shit. I mean, I don't want to reach like crazy because then to me, it's really not worth it. But we'll keep an eye. We'll keep an eye on it. Lucky brings in Jamal Williams. Nice little RB room here. 4 wide receivers still. He brings in his second QB. Looking strong there. Russell Wilson, Dulcich. That's a nice double tap as well. Has Jerry Jeudy making a bet on that Denver offense. This is a nice team from Trill here in the 12 spot. Really nice. Started Bijan, Adams, Jerry Jeudy, D-Hop, Marquise Brown, JSN, James Conner, AJ Dillon. Oh, man, just like for like 0 RB starts. We sent out a tweet the other day, like, who's your favorite first RB off the board in a 0 RB build? And I did name James Conner as my favorite target for that type of build. Let's go Algier here because I just think I'm going to end up targeting more rookies after Algier, and I don't want it to be Kendre, Tank, rookie. So let's get someone in here who gets steady, who should get steady carries this season in Algier. We're very strong at tight end too. Very strong at tight end. Especially based on where Hawkinson's starting ADP was. We get a nice value on that. Firemu started around 120 though. What's up, Ben? Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, you were in a room that just went rogue, it looks like. Yeah, sometimes your QBs get sniped and you end up with some. And when that happens, basically, you just have to make the draft worth it. Just select the best player available. If you can't stack your players, just really just look to advance that team. And in Best Ball Mania 4, you can play it more like a cash game and maybe just target the regular season prize when that happens. But there's so many good late stacks that you can pivot pretty easily. Really can. Even grabbing like Matthew Stafford and Higbee or Matthew Stafford and Puka. Some of the rookie QBs, even Brock Purdy late. Carolina, Bryce Young, Houston with CJ Stroud. It's pretty easy to stack these QBs on the back end. Mac Jones with Devontae Parker, Tyquan, and Hunter Henry. It's pretty easy to pivot this season. Pull up the board here. So the people going in front of me, King of Kings has 2 QBs. He should be done with Dak and Goff, I would think. Easy Money, definitely done with Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. That's strong. Lucky with Trevor Lawrence and Daniel Jones. That's super strong as well. And Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson's a nice pairing as well. So we should be good to get Pickett at 161. Rashid Shaheed at 149. Steamed up 14 picks. But you can see these wide receivers flying off the board right now. Okay. Let's bring in Devin Singletary at pick 152. Sam Laporta off the board at 153. Nice little stack with Jared Goff with Gibbs as well. King of Kings team looking really strong. Any update on Vegas QB? I have no doubt that Jimmy G's starting. Really have no doubt. And like Devontae Adams, when he slides to 14, 15, 16, like I just get my big spoon out. I really just have my big spoon out, and I'm just scooping that. Chat. Mims, nice little stack with Russ here. Now he's got a triple in Denver, which is nice. Nice for Trill. Staffy's still on the board. Jordan Love on the board. And that's like a backdoor stack we could do as well. If Kenny Pickett ever did get sniped, we could bring in Jordan Love in this team. We have Christian Watson. Obviously, with the amount of Pittsburgh players we have on our team, we want it to be Kenny Pickett. Easy money, maybe with an auto pick of Cole Kmet. Kmet at that price, though, is freaking nice. 159. Pickett, welcome to the team. Little triple stack here. We have our potential bring back if Dalvin Cook ends up in Miami. In Miami's bye week's what, 10? Beautiful. So if that did happen, like that'd be nice for the bye week bros there. We have 36 people stream. If you haven't already, go down and drop a like on the video. If we reach 1,000 subscribers before NFL kickoff, we are going to do a 24-hour live stream where we just draft, talk about fantasy football, then draft some more. Curtis Samuel at 166. And we did get a notice that Mason would join us on the 24-hour live stream, which is pretty cool to reach out on the Twitter machine. And now we can start to catch up at receiver a little bit. We took a little break here after pissing through the first half of the draft. But we started with a pretty balanced build with Lamar, Saquon, A.J. Brown, and even an early tight end. So we caught up at RB. We got some guaranteed carries, I think, in there. We have prospect with Kendre Miller. Kendre, this backfield's going to be interesting to watch this year with New Orleans. See how many games Kamara ends up getting suspended for, but I'm guessing it's be around 4 to 6. And they always have Jamal Williams there too, who's a force in the goal line last season for Detroit. Tim Patrick, someone that we want to target here. Gesicki off the board. Ah, DPJ gone. Okay. We got to pull some tricks out. I like the Shakir pick as well. Well, you know what? We can afford to bring another rookie in here. I don't have a ton of Jaden Reed, and we're getting him what, 8 picks after ADP, 7 picks after ADP. And he's bye week 6. Oh God, probably a bad move then. Probably a bad move. We'll see. We're up in 7 picks. We're gonna need 2 more receivers here and 1 more RBs. It's not like it matters too much. We just can't do any more bye week 6 guys, which I think we have all of them anyways. I think we literally selected every single bye week 6 player on the board, so we should be good there. Let's go. That'd be sick. Adam says liking videos is hard. Got to move the mouse and stuff. That comment took a lot more effort. But I appreciate both. I appreciate both. The comments make me laugh. Yeah, we are. Oh, this is bold. If we hit 40 likes, Pat will draft Antonio Brown last pick. I don't think you guys could hit 40. I don't think you guys can hit 40. How many rounds do we have left? 40 likes, and I'll draft Antonio Brown. He's there. No hopping on your grandma's account. Gus Edwards. I don't really love the Gus Edwards pick with Lamar. Let's go John Mechie here. We're up in 13 picks. We need 1 more receiver and 1 more running back. Adam says Dubes, A-Rob, and Musgrave need to complete all week 6 pass catcher bye weeks. Huh? Meyer off the board here at 189. I really wanted one of Shakir, DPJ, Tim Patrick, or Hodgins to fall back to us here at 176. But when you have pounders in the chat, that's what's going to happen. TD brings in a nice little value Matthew Stafford. I think it's completely uncorrelated, though. So that's more of like a regular season type play. Jordan Love at 191. These are just crazy values at QB right now. Crazy values at QB. Even it's paired with Romeo Dobbs, which is nice. And Mario needs another tight end. Oof. The Luke Musgrave pick is killer. You have to think he was looking at Luke Musgrave to bring it back with. That's killer. And this is the same guy that went Jalen Hurts after he picks Devonta Smith at 23. Mac has it out for Mario tonight. Mac has it out. You might have to write that name down. And when he's least suspecting it, get him back in the middle of August. Oh, man. But I like the pivot here with Dawson Knox. 14 picks after ADP. That is not a bad pivot at all. Mario ER7 has oh man. All right. Not Mario. ER7 has said, and we will back it. We will draft Antonio Brown if this video hits 40 likes. RBs. Who do we like here? For me, it's between Zamir White, Joshua Kelly, Malik Davis. We're not drafting Antonio Brown right now. Not unless we have to. Let's go Zamir White with this one. And our last pick is going to be a receiver. This bye week 6 is going to suck. But guess what? After that, this team's pretty good. Pretty damn good. Pretty balanced as well. We'd even have to reach for that Pickett selection with the triple in Pittsburgh. Take Allen Robinson last round. It's too many Pittsburgh players for me. Like 3 is probably too many. So 4 would definitely be way too many. We're already making a large stance with Pittsburgh, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Yeah, you guys aren't touching 40. I should be safe. I should be safe. We're not drafting Antonio Brown. Get out of here. 40 likes. You guys would have to get 40 likes in the next 4 picks. That'd be. We'll let it time all the way down. Now, basically, I need someone that I think is going to be playing week 6. Rookies are sort of tough in the situation. Here's some names. Here's some names of guys. Uh-oh. Oh, geez. We're at 28. You guys have 24 seconds to get us to 40 likes, and we'll select Antonio Brown. Mac Attack. All right, we have 1 vote for Mac Attack. I think we're good. I think we're way good. I don't have a ton of Matt Collins. I don't think he's a bad last round pick at all. Gonna be a spike week guy. He's basically like a not sexy Alec Pierce. And maybe Cal Pitts does have a little bit of trouble getting back on the field. Could end up being a pretty nice last round pick. Whoa, now we're digging deep. Coffee King may be digging too deep. 3 rookies to end the draft. Also has Odell. Also has someone that's not playing the first 6 weeks. This is where the construction kind of comes into play, where we don't want to create dead teams by selecting too many rookies. And pairing rookies who start off slow with a player that will not play the first 6 weeks is not the best combination for trying to advance teams. But we'll cover these drafts for the Pounders in the chat. ER7 says you're safe today. Get the spoons out. Get the spoons out. Marvin Jones, definitely a nice pick. Definitely a nice pick. But how, like, Josh Reynolds is another guy that should have a pretty nice role while JMO's out as well. So between them, there's so many players that you can really mix in at the end here. Could we have gone like Nelson Aguilar at the end? That'd be pretty gross. But I've seen it. I don't think we have to reach that far right now where, like, we are in an information lull. Let's wait and see. Let's make sure he's still on the team. I don't think we have to go ahead and really make any crazy strong stances, because if we get positive news about Nelson Aguilar, or like someone gets hurt, Bateman gets re-injured, whatever it might be, Nelson Aguilar isn't going to rise into like the 17th round. So you'll still be able to get him in the 18th. You'll just you'll have more information to make a more informed bet. So let's peek at Mario's team. 2583 build, which is one of the higher type builds for advancing teams, which is nice. Fields and Jordan Love is a sick pairing, especially when you're getting them, 35 picks after ADP? Gross. This is really, really nice. Higbee, Knox, and McBride, getting 2 of these guys at pretty nice, like 14 pick values at tight end. Isn't that nice when you are drafting strong at other positions? You're fading whatever position it might be, but then you get a falling value at a position of need, that just makes your team so much stronger, in my opinion. So this is going to be a pretty strong team. Ramondre, Etienne, Pierce, Cook, and P. Ryan. I think you have enough draft capital here. Etienne, 6 picks after ADP. Yeah, it's looking nice. Little mini here with New England and Buffalo as well. Chase, Devonta Smith, Dotson, Dobbs, Mooney, KJ Osborne, Tyquan Thornton, and Isaiah Hodgins. I like the group. I really do. I really do. You do have a stack with Chicago. I guess I would like to see like an Atlanta bring back for that game or like a Minnesota bring back, but we do have the Minnesota bring back. Really nice. Cool. No, it looks good, Mario. Really, really nice draft. Um, the icon who's in the live stream, Josh Allen and Mac Jones, Waller, Irv Smith, and Everett. I don't mind going 3 tight ends with Waller. I think you can get away with 2, but I'm not a huge Irv Smith guy either. So Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, Khalil Herbert, and Jaylen Warren. Yeah, I think this is a really nice group here. Really nice group. Hero running back build, but with Joe Mixon at pick 55 too. He's been a riser. Let's see where Joe Mixon started in ADP for Best Ball Mania. He started at 72. So he's been a huge riser. To get him at 55 still fine though. Diggs, London, Pittman, Michael Thomas, Juju, Khalil Shakur, Wendell Robinson, Marvin Jones. Definitely an interesting group. You got the double stack with Josh Allen. That's nice. Gotta bring back with Juju, but I've been getting Juju at, like, 130 pretty consistently in the last couple days, so I've been letting Juju fall, but you do have your bring back here with the Pats. Wendell Robinson is basically you're just hoping for him to be something for the end of the season, but Marvin Jones, I guess, is the only pick that I would push back on. I would rather probably another RB or just a different type of receiver like Cedric Tillman or something, someone who's gonna be more productive for the end of the season. You have plenty of points for the beginning of the season. You have Pittman, who's like a good floor play. But that's another nice draft, really is. King of Kings, Dak Prescott and Jared trading 2 of those tight ends with the QBs, which is sick. Chubb at 16, Gibbs, Penny, Tajay Spears, Jeff Wilson, and Ty Chandler. Nice little group there. Some high upside picks with Tajay. I mean, even Gibbs and then Jeff Wilson and Chandler. This will definitely depend on where Dalvin goes, right? I think if Dalvin ends up in Miami, it's kind of like see you later to all those all 3 Miami RBs. Maybe A-Chain can sort of work out a nice role towards the end, but CeeDee Lamb, Deebo Samuel, Treylon Burks, Quentin Johnston, Al Lazard, Michael Gallup, and Devontae Parker. This is a good group as well. You got the little correlation here, double with Gallup and Lamb with Dak, and Jared Goff with just Sam Laporta and Gibbs, which is fine. It's different. Could be leveraging the field there like that. So it's cool. Another good team. Easy Money. I believe Easy Money's in the live stream. Let me know. Jay says check Macked team. Macked at the 1 spot. Jalen Hurts and Purdy. Goddard and Luke Musgrave. I'm cool with that pairing. The Luke Musgrave snipe was crazy. Swift, Javante, Zach, Shanae, Rashawn Johnson, Chuba, and Cordell Patterson. I'm fine with this group. It's definitely an interesting RB room. 14 picks ahead of ADP for Chuba. Definitely taking a stance there. 10 picks ahead of Cordell Patterson. First RB being Swift paired with Hurts. I think that's smart. Justin Jefferson, Higgins, Christian Kirk, Mike Williams, Nico Collins, Zay Jones, and Alec Pierce. I mean, you definitely have enough capital here. Wide receivers look good. I mean, it's relatively balanced. It's pretty much 0 RB or modified 0 RB. And Javonte Williams, I think, is a good RB to do that type of build with if you can get the miraculous, quick heal up from him and get him back on the field sooner. He doesn't even have to be on the field week 1, but if he can just miss, like, 2 games, I think he's a good upside RB for a build like this, for sure. Easy money, I'm pretty sure, is a pounder. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, crazy pairing. Crazy pairing. It's a lot of draft capital, though, is my worry. Kincaid, Kmet, and likely you get Kmet at a nice little value. Kincaid's been falling, which is good. I've started to mix in Kincaid now, and let's see what the starting ADP was. Um, Kincaid, where are you? Been pretty good at finding them quick. 132. So basically, he's right back to where he started. He did get steamed up for a little bit, but now he's been the market sort of adjusted correctly now. Austin Eckler at 10, Madison, Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson. So bringing in both of them, which I think he can do. I don't think it's a huge negative, but like week 17, do we think they're both going to go off, especially against San Fran? Yeah, it's a week 17 matchup. It's like, I don't know. Now, the other narrative is like, oh, maybe you have like a low advance rate Antonio Gibson. It's really not going to happen. Like if Brian Robinson goes off week 16 until Antonio Gibson does nothing, there's other teams that will have Antonio Gibson doing nothing that will be able to push him along. This is like that's a narrative you guys should be thinking about with like really high price players. Um, let's use Travis Kelce, for example. He has a terrible week 16. MVS has a 24-point week, 27-point week. He can advance a low advance rate Travis Kelce because other players are scoring so many points with their first round pick. That's where like draft capital matters with that narrative. So not my favorite thing to do, but I think it works in this scenario. Headlined by Austin Eckler here. Amon-Ra, Keenan Allen, Brandon Cooks, Elijah Moore, Rondell Moore, Rashee Rice, Paris Campbell, and Joshua Palmer. I'm sort of off Palmer like completely. He's already lost the job to Quentin Johnston, is the report. So wide receiver 4 in the team. I'd rather take my shot somewhere else, but I do like this wide receiver as a whole. I think it works. And Rice, his price is it's a lot cheaper than from where he started. So you get a little advantage on the early drafters with that pick. Trevor Lawrence and Daniel Jones. I love this pairing. Evan Ingram, Hill, Conklin, and Hurst. That's a lot of tight ends. Sanders, David Montgomery, Rashad White, Jamal Williams, Jerome Ford, and Pierre Strong. Yeah, I like this group a lot. 6 receivers. And I'm scared. And the reason being, I see Trevor Lawrence here. I see Miles Sanders here, which means you didn't go 6 straight receivers. Did Lucky get auto drafted? Lucky, are you here? Let us know in the live stream. We're about to peek it. Let's peel back the apple. We see Garrett Wilson and Waddle start. Nice. We see Amari Cooper, Calvin Ridley, Mingo. Okay, so sort of taking a hot take that Mingo can be the wide receiver 1 over there, maybe produce, early wide receiver 4 numbers, then maybe eventually dipping into fringe wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 is the narrative for this team. And Darius Slayton, highest paid wide receiver on the Giants, sort of that spike week guy. So I still want another receiver. I definitely want another receiver. I think the Hayden Hurst pick is maybe that was an auto pick. But this would definitely be a receiver. And then I like the team besides that. 4 tight ends at the onesie position, a little too much. I do think there is an advantage to pushing 3 tight ends to week 17. I mean, if you could push 4 tight ends, sure, then there could be an advantage there too, but you can only start 2 of them. So you're gonna have 2 dead roster spots. I'd rather only be forced to have 1. But let me peek this again. With Hill, like, there's a chance that Hill could spike into the flex and Ingram go off. or Kronk could go off. So, like, I do like Hill in 3 tight end, uh, roster construction builds. Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, and Kyler Murray. I know we got some good correlation here from Trilly. We're keeping track of this draft through, so this is gonna be, I think, a really nice draft. Kyler Murray at 180, which is an advantage on the early drafters as well. Njoku and Dulcich, so we got a nice little correlation between his tight ends and his QBs. Bijan at 12, James Conner, AJ Dillon. Really nice. I love that. I love those 2 picks there. And starting with Bijan. Brings in Zeke and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You wanna know what? Like, I'm cool with the Zeke pick if you don't go CEH, because pretty much you're hoping Zeke ends up where, right? Where are your guys' favorite spots for Zeke? One of them for me would be KC. So you kind of get rid of one of his best landing spots by also drafting CEH. But, yeah, one or the other for me, in my opinion there. And then Kareem Hunt as your last RB. It's fine, like, you're basically relying on Bijan every single week, and then you have an upside potential fringe RB1 this season with James Conner, and then AJ Dillon, who I just went over his last 6 weeks last year, last 5 weeks. He had, like, an RB4 finish, an RB6 finish, an RB9, RB12, like, RB14 or 6 like, he was really good at the end of the season last year. Weeks 13, 14, weeks 12, 13, bye week 14, 15, 16, 17. Look at those weeks in half point PPR. He had a really strong finish to the year. That's why he's my number 1 owned RB post NFL draft and in best ball game. Devontae Adams, Jerry Jeudy, D Hop, Marquise Brown, JSN, DJ Chark, and Marvin Mims. So nice little triple stack with Denver. Um, just the one pass catcher with Cleveland, but that's fine because we're hoping that Deshaun Watson is a Russian QB, and then you do have D Hop. I don't think he ends up in Cleveland, but maybe there is a 1% chance for Cleveland. But guys, I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. If you haven't already, drop a like on the live stream if you enjoyed tonight's video. 24-hour live stream, 1,000 subscribers. I have a feeling it's going to happen. Go down there, hit the subscribe button. If you don't have an account on YouTube, make an account on YouTube and hit the subscribe button. We'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you all for coming out.